Hello, my name is Caleb Westbrook, and I am the instructor for the English 11 Standard Summer course. I'm really looking forward to this course and partnering with you. Even though it's an asynchronous course, we will be in communication via email, via feedback left on assignments, meeting occasionally to provide assistance, and in other forms. I'm really looking forward to the what we're going to cover in this course as well. But a little bit about myself. I've been teaching for 7 years now. I actually began teaching in El Salvador in Central America, which is where I met my wife. We moved back to the United States, so we've gone through the whole immigration process and understand that better. And we have two kids and try to raise them in a multicultural bilingual environment to sort of respect both cultures. And I think that actually influences the way that I approach literature, not just this one monolithic thing that comes from Europe, from England, or from the United States, but actually has multi cultural voices all around the world. And I think that fits into what we do at Dwight Global. And so that's an important part of the way that I design curriculum as well. We're also in the process, my family and I are also in the process of moving to Guatemala. And so I look forward to sharing some of those experiences, incorporating some of those experiences into the class, my teaching, my background as well. A little bit about the course. As I mentioned, I really try to highlight multicultural voices in the text that we read. And so we'll actually begin the course with the book In the Time of the Butterflies, which is based on true events that took place in the Dominican Republic. So I look forward to that and kind of digging into some of that background and the voices there. I also try to look into multimodal text. So not just a traditional novel, but also digging into the graphic novel that has sort of visual storytelling components, even looking at a short film and how that is similar to the way that we read literature, looking at various genres through memoir, short story, dystopian literature. All of those I plan on incorporating into what we learn this summer, and hopefully you find that you're able to engage with some of those stories well. We'll also be writing in multiple genres. So of course we're going to build towards more of that academic formal essay that you may be familiar with, but we'll also be doing some creative writing and some other activities that will hopefully engage both parts of your brain, right brain, left brain, all different types of learning styles and preferences in order to kind of form this cohesive experience in this English class. A little bit more about me and how it relates to the course. I would consider myself a lifelong learner. I hope that's something that maybe I can instill influence in you a little bit. But I just say that because not only is English something that I do as part of my job, but it's something I really believe in as far as reading and writing and just growing in those capacities. I'm always, in addition to what we're doing in class, I'm always reading some on my own. Also trying to push myself to read more in Spanish because despite being bilingual, I often just stick with reading in English. I also do writing on my own. I have published poetry in very small journals. I've finished a book that I'm trying to send to literary agents. We'll see what happens. But I just say that because I try to practice a lot of the same skills that I'm asking you to develop. I'm continuing to practice and work on in my own life. A couple of tips on how to succeed in this course. Two things, really. Organize your reading. That's, I think, important, especially in the first unit when we read more the traditional novel. Don't just try to tackle all of the reading at once, trying to read multiple chapters in one sitting. For some of you, maybe that works, but for the majority of us, it's better if we can divide up our reading over time. That way, so instead of reading 100 pages in one sitting, that we can read 10 pages across 10 days or 20 pages across 5 days in order to not feel overwhelmed with reading assignments. And the second piece of advice I give you is just to be a good communicator. If you're struggling with anything, if you have questions, reach out to me via email. I'm also happy to set up appointments. So that's going to be really important to advocate for yourself because sometimes I don't know what I don't know. So if there's a challenge, a struggle, or lack of clarity on something, just make sure that you communicate well. And I think you'll find that find success that way. Looking forward to this class and getting to know you better.